Satish Kumar entered first into public consciousness in 1962 when he walked 8,000 miles, a global pilgrimage over 2 years. He started at Mahatma Gandhi's grave and walked to Moscow, Paris, London, and the United States, where he met Martin Luther King Jr., and I'm very proud to call him a teacher. Satish, thank you very much for joining us on Stay Free today.
Thank you for having me, Russell.
Satish, you came to prominence in the 1960s, where the countercultural movement genuinely seemed like it might change the world before it metastasized into kind of individualism and consumerism that is still morphing into a tyrannical force, an entirely immersive force across our culture. During the 60s, when you came to prominence, people spoke openly about the desire for peace. In this time that appears to be defined by conflict of different kinds, most obviously, of course, literal war, do you feel that when there is conflicts that are necessary for the military-industrial complex, one of the most influential and powerful forces on this planet, while there is a war between Ukraine and Russia, when it feels like there are escalating tensions between the USA and China, that peace ought once again become part of our discourse? What are your thoughts on these conflicts that are determining and defining our planet right now, sir?
Yes, a very good question. I'm very saddened to see war in Ukraine. And as you say, this industrial military complex, which is kind of benefiting maybe, perhaps, but at the cost of hundreds of thousands of ordinary people suffering and destruction. So I think, but politicians have forgotten how to be a statesman. The diplomats have forgotten how to practice diplomacy. And religious leaders in all sides have forgotten how to practice religion and love. And this is why I've written this book, Radical Love. Radical love, Russell, is when you are able to love even those you don't like and you don't agree. And this is where I think Putin and Biden and Rishi Sunak and Zelensky, they all need to read my book and practice radical love and sit down together. And I have a good solution for Ukraine situation.
Well, would you tell us it, please? Because as you say, it's quite a terrible conflict.
Terrible conflict, and it's benefiting not anybody. It's just, and it's leading towards possibly a third world war. Because what happened? America could not win in Vietnam. America could not win in Afghanistan. Russia could not win in Afghanistan. Winning these days of war is impossible. So it will go on destroying, and there's no win. So what my solution for Ukraine is, be like Switzerland, Swiss model, where Switzerland did not go to First World War, did not go to Second World War, did not join NATO, did not join EU, independent, its own currency, its own system, and a very neutral and trading with everybody. So if Ukraine can say to Russia that there's no threat from you, from us for you. There's no NATO, there's no EU. We are independent, we are neutral, like Switzerland, and Switzerland can be rich because they are neutral. And Switzerland can be home for everybody, international organizations. It's a UN headquarters and many World Council of Churches, many international organizations go to Switzerland because it's neutral. So Ukraine can be like Switzerland and be neutral and friend to Russia, friend to Europe, friend to everybody. Have no enemy. That is a solution. And I think Russia would like it. Russia would say, yes, if you are neutral and not a member of NATO and not a member of EU and independent, trading with everybody, that's welcome.
Stay free with Russell Brand. See it first on Rumble.